Okay guys, welcome to a new lesson where we're going to talk about plumbing the directory tree depths. So one common automation operation is to start at a given location and apply a particular action to every file or type of file in the file system below that location. This is often called walking the directory tree, and the OS module contains a powerful and flexible function called the os.walk function that helps us do just that. It is not the most straightforward function to use, so we spend this section looking at its key features. So we consider an example of os.walk being used to find a specific file located somewhere within a given directory tree or subtree. We then create a new module with the find file function that we can use in our programs. That foundation can go on to form the basis of a whole group of functions that we can use to process directory trees. And first we need to create a test environment consisting of a hierarchy of folders under a root directory. Now I have a root directory. I'll add some files here and folders. So I just added some folders here, archived, which includes some archived files from a previous testing I did on another project, and also some files, backup files when I was testing for this course, so I just created those folders. And each folder contains some files, and one of the folders contains the file we want to find, namely target.txt. So the os.walk function takes a starting point as an argument and returns a generator yielding tuples with 3 members, sometimes called a 3-tuple or triplet, the root, a list of directories in the current root, and the list of the current files in that root. So we can easily check by writing a for loop at the interactive prompt of what that folder contains. We just use the current directory. Oops. So this gives us all the files in my root directory, and this shows the path taken by the os.walk, starting with the first directory at the top level and drilling down before moving into the next directory and so on. And it also shows us how we can take a file from the files list and construct its full path by combining the name with the root value of the containing tuple. So by writing our function to use regular expressions and to return a list, we can create a function that is much more powerful but also slower than the simple glob.glob that we saw earlier. So we can create a file finder function. We'll do that here. Let's call it file tree. And what we do is build a test. We build and test a module containing a file finding function using the os.walk function as a foundation. So just let's start make some comments. Regular expressions. This is with the IDE, just gives you some extra stuff. And like always, I'll comment at the end what I'm doing. Feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to see me type. That's the doc string. And I hope you also practice typing along with me, because these are good exercises to get if you haven't practiced coding for a while. So let's save the file. Let's go back into our prompt, Python prompt. Now let's get the information about our function that we created. This is useful for other developers or other users of your module. So it just tells in a very descriptive way what the module does. Now let's try if it will. Hope that exists somewhere. I think let's try something that exists first. Yes, it does. And that one we removed. Typing is very important, guys. What can we find? T. So what this function does is that the function takes a regular expression as the parameter pattern and then compiles it for efficiency. It then calls os.walk in the usual way using the base parameter value, and at each level of the tree tests, each file found against the input pattern. If it finds a match, it generates the full path and adds it to the result list. Once all the files in the directory tree has been tested, it returns the list of found files. We tested the code by importing the module and running the help function on it. We saw the comments and the docstring describing how to use the function. After exiting help, we tested find_files by searching for the literal name of our file target, target.txt, which it didn't find. Sorry, I didn't use the target notation. I used the file A. It found that file, and we experimented with some regular expressions. Note the difference between the glob wildcard syntax and the regular expression form. With the .f* notation, and that indicates any file starting with the letter F followed by 0 or more characters. .*/.txt indicates any sequence of characters followed by a literal period and 3 characters txt. And finally, we try to use a pattern that matched directory names and got back an empty list, which is to be expected because the function only checks the file names. It doesn't look at the names in the dirs. Tuple element. So we have seen how Python helps to work with the OS. So in the next section, we are going to see how Python enables us to work with dates and times. So hopefully you have learned a lot if you are a system administrator or just want to work with your files and folders, and how you can do that very easily with Python. And I hope you have gotten some ideas on creating your own fun scripts of exploring your operating system with Python. So see you in the next section.